Chapter 7. Race Against Time. As Arin's consciousness slowly seeped back into the realm of awareness, he was greeted by a wave of agony coursing through his body, each nerve ending ablaze with pain. With considerable effort, he focused his blurred vision on his surroundings, gradually discerning the dimly lit pharmacy around him. Relief washed over him as his right hand instinctively reached for the disc containing vital information, finding it still safely tucked away in its hidden pocket. Recollection of his conversation with Watcher and the 4-hour extraction window flooded back. He grimaced as he checked the timer. 45 minutes left. He had been unconscious for over 3 hours. Anything could have transpired at that time. As he attempted to rise, a searing pain shot through his lower back, forcing him back down. Panic surged within him as he activated his medical implants, revealing the presence of cracked vertebrae, an alarming discovery he had missed amidst the barrage of previous medical alarms. It was a grim reminder of his encounter with the Jedi, likely sustained when she hurled him against the wall with the Force. Quickly, he assessed the condition of his spinal cord, finding it miraculously intact, which offered some relief. Further scans unveiled a lightsaber wound in his left shoulder, now dressed and showing signs of surgical intervention. While the arm throbbed slightly, it remained functional, fueling Arin's mind with strategies to navigate his predicament. Suddenly, across the room, muffled voices reached his ears, drawing his attention to the two figures engaged in conversation. Recognition flickered as he spotted a female pharmacist who had stumbled upon him in his moment of vulnerability. Beside her stood another figure, unfamiliar to him, yet undoubtedly one of the medics responsible for his current state of existence. Summoning what remained of his strength, Arin listened intently, catching fragments of their discussion. His heart sank as he realized they were aware of his altercation with the Jedi, dispelling any hope of maintaining a simple cover story. Adjusting his approach, he concocted a plan, relying on his waning acting skills and the power of persuasion. Arin groaned audibly, catching the medic's attention. Jasamel rushed to his side, concern etched on her face. "Hey, take it easy. You've been through quite a bit," she said, her voice gentle. Kais, more reserved but equally attentive, observed the scene. "What happened to you?" he inquired, his tone neutral. Arin blinked, feigning confusion. I don't remember much. I was attacked, I think." "A Jedi," he mumbled, searching their faces for a reaction. Kais raised an eyebrow, exchanging a glance with Jasamel. "A Jedi?" he echoed, his tone tinged with mock surprise. Arin nodded weakly. "Yeah, I remember the lightsaber. She was after me. I managed to escape, but I ended up here." Kai scratched his head, processing the information. "Why did a Jedi attack you?" Maintaining his facade, Arin continued. "I'm an SIS agent working undercover. We had suspicions about the secret sponsorship of the Balmorra rebels, but we didn't anticipate Jedi involvement." Jasamel's eyes widened, and she exchanged another quick glance with Kais. Arin could see the gears turning in their minds. His deception appeared to be taking hold, so he pressed on with his narrative. I'm sorry for pointing the blaster at you," Arin added, turning to the woman and infusing sincerity into his tone. "I didn't know who I could trust." Jasamel's suspicion softened, and she nodded in understanding. "It's okay. Trust is hard to come by in situations like these." Still skeptical, Kais crossed his arms. "If what you're saying is true, you've stumbled into something monumental." Arin nodded, keeping up the facade. "Look, I'm not sure if I can trust you either, but given the circumstances, I really don't have a choice." He paused for a moment for greater effect. "I need your assistance. I must escape before they track me down." Jasamel exchanged a determined glance with Kais. "We'll help you." Kais sighed, relenting. "All right, but we need more information." Arin wove a tapestry of half-truths and fabrications, crafting a narrative of intrigue and deception to bolster his credibility in the eyes of his newfound allies. With each carefully chosen detail, he painted a picture of a shadowy conspiracy, a labyrinth of corruption ensnaring even the highest echelons of Republic power. "The senators! They're not merely funding the rebels on Balmora," Aaron explained, his voice low and urgent. "They're masterminding the entire operation. Weapons, credits, everything. It's all part of a grand scheme to foment revolution, destabilize the region, and goad the Republic into another conflict." Jasamel's eyes widened in disbelief, while Kais listened intently, his expression inscrutable. Aaron pressed on, skillfully intertwining his lies. "And the Jedi," he continued, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "She's not a mere foot soldier. She's the puppeteer behind the scenes, issuing commands, manipulating the senators, and orchestrating the flow of resources. She's the linchpin of this nefarious enterprise." As the weight of Aaron's words settled over them, Jasamel exchanged a worried glance with Kais. The enormity of the revelation hung heavy in the air, and Aaron knew he must tread cautiously. "I must relay this information to my superiors," he insisted, urgency lacing his tone. "Before it's too late, before this machination plunges the galaxy into another catastrophic conflict." Jasamel's determination to aid Aaron was palpable, and even Kais seemed to relent, his reservations yielding to a sense of duty. Aaron's plea for assistance was met with unwavering resolve. "We'll do whatever is necessary," Jasamel declared, her voice resolute. Grateful for their support, Aaron's focus remained razor-sharp. "First, I require my blaster," he stated firmly, leaving no room for debate. Jasamel retrieved the blaster, handing it to Aaron with a cautious expression. Aaron accepted it with a nod of thanks, the familiar weight of the weapon providing a reassuring sense of security. Turning his attention back to Kais, Aaron outlined his plan. "You have to make me mobile again." Kais hesitated, weighing the risks in his mind. "Your shoulder is manageable for now, but your spine is a different story. Removing the brace could worsen the damage," he cautioned. An idea sparked in Jasamel's eyes. "What about Kolto gel? We could inject it around the injured area. It'll act as a cushion for his vertebrae, at least temporarily." Kais considered the proposal, his brow furrowed in thought. "It's risky, but it might work," he conceded. "We'll need to numb the area first, then administer the injection." Aaron shook his head, his determination unwavering. "No time for that," he insisted. "Just do it." Kais's expression darkened with concern. "Are you sure? The pain will be excruciating." Aaron met his gaze with steely resolve. "I can handle it." As Kais prepared the syringe filled with Kolto gel, the atmosphere in the small pharmacy shifted, becoming tense and anticipatory. Aaron clenched his jaw, gripping the edges of the makeshift bed with white-knuckled intensity. He had faced pain before, endured battles, and weathered the consequences of his choices, but this was different. The prospect of injecting Kolto gel directly into his spine without the numbing comfort of anesthesia was a daunting challenge. Jasamel stood by, her eyes filled with concern, her hands ready to assist. Kais, despite the gravity of the situation, maintained a focused and steady demeanor. The small clinic seemed to hold its breath as the syringe hovered over Aaron's lower back. "Ready?" Kais's voice was a low murmur, a blend of inquiry and reassurance. Aaron nodded tightly. The syringe descended, its sharp sting piercing his skin, sending a shockwave of new pain coursing through Aaron's body. A controlled groan escaped him as the Kolto gel infiltrated the injured area. The intensity of the sensation was almost overwhelming, beads of sweat forming on his forehead. Jasamel watched with a mix of sympathy and helplessness, her hands poised to assist in any way possible. Kais worked swiftly and with precision, aware of the delicate balance between relief and agony that the procedure brought. Seconds stretched into an eternity for Aaron as the gel worked its magic, providing a temporary cushion for his damaged spine. Finally, the procedure concluded, and Kais withdrew the syringe. Jasamel offered a sympathetic look, while Kais, despite the grim task, exhaled a breath he hadn't realized he'd been holding. "Take it easy," Kais advised, his voice carrying a rare note of empathy. "The pain will ease soon." Aaron nodded, sweat still clinging to his forehead. Despite the searing agony, a sense of accomplishment washed over him. The Kolto gel offered respite, albeit temporary, and now his focus shifted to the next phase of his mission.